Welcome to Blaes and Gottsch. I'm Teresa Blaze, and I've got my sidekick, my co-host, my all-around good friend, Michelle Saunders Gottsch. And Michelle, I kind of smell something in the air, don't you? Football season?
Yes. Yes. I am so ready. Oh my gosh, after going to the Chiefs training camp, whew, I am seeing them play that first game. Boy,
Oh,
we're ready, aren't we, Gal?
oh God, no kidding. And I got the honor and privilege to go to the Cardinals' first preseason game. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you have not gone to an NFL game, the atmosphere, it's there's something to it. I can't really put a finger on it. There is just something lively, like just all these like Cardinals fans or whatever fan base, and they're all gathered and we're all rooting for the same team, and it's oh God, it's incredible.
I'm so glad you got to go.
Yeah, that was oh man, wow, that was so incredible. Um, so yeah, I got to go to a Cardinals preseason game. I'll give you my thoughts based on what I saw, and I also collected a few thoughts from some other people reacting to the game. So, unfortunately, the Cardinals did lose, but there were some highlights that I liked. So we'll get into that. First, I want to touch base on we have made some changes. If you can tell, we
Yep.
are doing video.
Love it.
And so we're going to be actually doing some stuff like cutting out shorts of different shorts and reels and that kind of stuff. And we're going to be releasing some short form content around the show. And we'll keep you guys updated, as when channels go live, that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we've got some other things planned. We're going to be doing some updates on the website, and we're just going to keep pressing forward. I want to actually take a minute to thank um John Losh, who has decided to step away, and that's cool. We are going to stay faithful to the mission that God has called us to, and that is to highlight faith, family, and football and bring God honoring, God glorifying stories of people who live their faith on and off the field. Michelle, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah. No, I think that's what it's all about. And I love I love that we've grown and started to grow an audience of followers, that are really about the stories and the human aspect of, the players. Albeit
Absolutely.
we love the technical details, we love the game, we love watching the game, we like the competitive sports, and the physical side of football, watching these players and the talent that they have. But it's also really nice to bring the stories to our audience too. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited about doing more of those in this season. And yeah, I'm going to miss John's segment, and we're going to do our best to fill in where we can um, across the NFL and what is going on. And we'll beef up our page and Instagram page and our social media platforms.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's plenty of stuff happening in the NFL. So if we notice something pretty heavy going on, we'll bring it to you. But we are going to be focusing mainly on the Cardinals, the Chiefs, and the Broncos going forward, as we started with. So I am like really excited, and so I want to actually shift gears before we actually get into the actual games. Um, I want to actually ask you this, Michelle.
Yeah.
Based on, okay, not counting what you saw in the preseason game, what are your expectations for the Chiefs going forward this season?
Well, I think that they just are consistent and they are able to win
Mm-hmm.
their games at home and win them when they're on the road, and that they can perform, be subjected to injuries, keeping their players healthy, leveraging all the new talent too as they can, and grow that talent and stay team focused, and humble. I guess I just would like to see them stay the course and play hard and love on their fans,
Yep,
and, you know, do what they need to do, what they're called to do. So,
absolutely, absolutely. I based on what I've seen, I know that they want to do a three-peat. But that is exceptionally hard to do, and there are some real contenders out there who want to take that away. And so I think they're going to have to really knuckle up and figure out, okay, where are our weak spots? Where are the areas that we need to grow? Figure that out now, because I can guarantee you there are going to be some teams that are going to take advantage of whatever weak spots they can find.
yeah, well, there's a lot of talent out there in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of up and coming and very hungry, teams that want to win.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
they're willing to put in the work and the effort and all those things to win. So, it's the way it is. It's
It
whoever
is.
works the hardest, how they work the best together. They stay focused. They don't get sidetracked on their fame and success.
Mhm.
And,
Well, if I can, I want to borrow an example from, of all sports, baseball. Um, I'm a huge Diamondbacks fan, and they are on a tear. They've won 9 series in a row, okay, and they find ways to win, and it's become something of a, oh wow, I got to actually go to one of their games. I'm actually seeing this happen. It's becoming something special. And I think if the Chiefs want to do what they're talking about doing, they need to have that little something special with them.
well,
And
Teresa, they have won the Super Bowl 4 times,
mm,
not just two. They
right,
won in 1969, they won in 2020, 2023, and 2024.
right, right. So they know what it takes to get there.
They do know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, and like you said, there's a lot of other teams that are out there, and a lot of talent, and a lot of, there's just a lot of people
Yep.
that are wanting to
I
see
mean,
them not win. It's like the Tom Brady thing, right? I mean, it's like people don't like winners sometimes,
I don't get that.
over and over and over again. I don't either.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs adapt coming into this year. I'm going to be very interested to see that. Moving on. Let's touch on the Broncos. The Broncos, um, they don't really have a quarterback this year. I mean, they've got a couple of people that they're trying out to see who's going to get the job.
I don't know. I'm worried about them.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that they have the right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the last really big quarterback that really stuck out to me, you know, was Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he's the Broncos quarterback that I respected besides Elway. Um, but I had bought a jersey,
Mhm.
and I thought I might wear it one of these times when we record. But yeah,
You
they've
know,
got it. They've got to do, um, I don't know. It's chemistry. It's the whole, I mean, they've got Bo Nix, Zach Wilson,
Mhm.
Jarrett Stidham,
Right, right.
right?
And
So
the question I'm having is, who's going to be your guy going forward? Because you better lock that down now. You can't have another season like they've had.
no one, their fans deserve better. I mean, I have some family members that know people that are so diehard
Yeah. And when
Broncos
when
fans.
you put the kind of money out for tickets,
Yes,
you deserve a good product on the field.
absolutely.
You really do deserve a good product on the field.
Yep.
I am hesitant because it really comes down to, okay, who's going to be the guy throwing the ball? Number one. Number two, do they have an offensive line that can give him enough time to throw the ball? Or is it going to cave? And number three, do they have a defense that's going to do the job when they need to?
Lots has to happen.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean, to win.
I'm honestly I am not expecting a playoff team in Denver, not this year. I think I would be happy with a winning record this year. Considering how they've kind of progressed and where they came from. Yeah, just a winning record this year. I think they still have to get their legs under them. They've got a kind of a newer coach. He's still establishing his system. And so I'm just not expecting much from them this year.
I think it's going to be a little tumultuous,
Yeah.
And I think they got to figure this out. It's kind of like the preseason is going to go all season. You know what I'm trying to
Right.
say?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
going to be bumpy and
Yep.
trying to figure this out, unless something just shakes out and it's very clear.
Right. Exactly. And so I think
And it's leadership, right? I mean, we talk about it all the time. Leadership matters. And it's
absolutely,
like,
yeah.
and the Chiefs, they're Andy Reid and, their other coaches and Clark and his wife, Tavia Hunt, the Hunts, the owners. I mean, there's so much leadership, even the president of the Chiefs organization and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's a leader. I
Right.
mean, and Chris Jones and I mean some of these guys and I don't know what the leadership is like with some of these new QBs
No, I
in
don't either.
Denver. And I'm
Yep.
not a big fan of their coach, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. I mean, I'm kind of I haven't really made a ruling. I think the jury's still out for me, but he's going to have to show me
Mm-hmm.
something because right now I'm kind of you better know what you're doing, buddy. You know. So that's
I'm
kind of,
sure the fans feel that way too,
you
for
know,
sure.
the jury's still out for me. I'm kind of I haven't, for me, I think this season can he improve them going forward? I think this season is going to be a real test of that. And if he can't, then we better know why.
Well, and today is their happy birthday,
Oh,
Broncos, by the
oh,
way. Yeah, it's their
well,
birthday.
happy birthday, Denver Broncos.
Happy birthday, Broncos.
So yeah, I mean, there's that. And then I think the last team that I want to touch on, and this team, you guys know me. You know I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. What am I expecting this year? Um, First of all, we're talking about Arizona, and I am cautiously optimistic. First of all, we got one heck of a receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. I have seen a lot of people compare him to Larry Fitzgerald, which, if that's even remotely true, heaven help any defender that tries to cover him.
Cool. Did you get to see him a little bit?
He played in
Play?
one. Yeah, he played
Yeah,
in one series. Yeah,
that's good.
you know, I think they just wanted him to go through the process of getting into a game, going out, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, um, this was more about the seeing the guys that are trying to make the team, and there were
Yeah.
some guys that kind of like, huh? Well, I think you talk about leadership. That's the interesting thing is, Kyler Murray wasn't that much of a leader per
No.
se.
No.
but I think he's kind of growing into it. He's now a veteran. Um, I know he's done things like work with his receivers in the off season. Um, and so I think now that we have a healthy Kyler Murray,
Hmm.
um, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we're going to get more than 4 wins. I'd like to see us go to the playoffs, but I'm not hanging my hat on it. I I just don't know, because one of the big glaring issues that I see, and I don't think they've addressed it. I'm thinking maybe
Hmm.
they're hoping that we already have the talent, but you haven't addressed it in free agency. You haven't addressed it in the draft. You didn't address it in waivers. Is edge rusher? They haven't gotten one. I'm thinking maybe they're hoping someone can kind of fill in that, and but I don't know. We need someone who can be that guy that can get to the quarterback.
What what is Zayvon Collins doing? What does he do?
So I think he plays at guard.
Oh, okay.
I think no, he's on defense, but I think he plays at guard if I remember right. Um, but I know I have seen him on the outside a time or two.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know what their plan is going forward. But I have seen I have seen some good things going forward out of the defense. Uh like in the first preseason game. I
Hmm.
like the fact that they held the Saints to no touchdowns. Okay. They made them beat them by field goals.
That's good though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Hmm.
Okay. The thing I did not like is you scored a touchdown and you gave the Saints way too much time on the clock. They
Well,
were, you know,
yeah. I
yeah,
didn't get a chance to watch that preseason game, but wasn't it by 1 point?
it was by two,
Oh,
16 to 14. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
2. Okay.
So the Cardinals went and they got a touchdown and then they got another one. As far as, because there is kind of a quarterback battle for who's going to be the backup quarterback after Kyler. I am thinking, I've seen the other guy play and I like Clayton Tune. I think he's a lot more ready. I think he's comfortable. Obviously he has things to work on.
Hmm.
Between him and Desmond Ritter, um, I think Tune is more ready. Now I could be wrong, but and we still have like what, 2 preseason games to go as of this recording. But I think Clayton Tune needs to be the backup. I really do. You know,
Okay.
um,
Now, who are they playing next? Do you know right off?
yes. So I know the fact they have this week. They have a joint practices with the Indianapolis
Yeah.
Colts.
Yeah, they're
Mm-hmm.
doing promotion on that.
Yep. And then they're playing Indianapolis on Saturday.
Same day that the Chiefs are playing the Lions.
That's going to be an interesting game.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that game.
That's going to be very interesting because
Here, they're playing it here too in
Oh,
Kansas City.
well, then basically the Chiefs have a nice home field advantage. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Arrowhead has been pretty loud when it comes to supporting their
Yes.
home team there.
Yes. It should be a very well attended and supportive fan game for sure.
I'm gonna speak to that. If you love your team, and I
Mm-hmm.
get that the economy has been crazy, but if you love your team and you're a fan and you're listening to this, and maybe you're a fan of another team, okay, that's great. Go support them, especially in the preseason games. They could really use it, you know?
One, go to the training camps if you can. I mean, I went to the training camp. It cost me $5 and a little bit of
Right.
gas and my time. But I
Exactly.
mean, and I promoted, you know,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
yeah, get out there. Love on your
Go
players.
go support your team, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
I mean, like Mike and I, we did this last weekend, we went down to Phoenix. We went to a Diamondbacks game, saw Casting Crowns, which by the way, that was an excellent show.
They're so good. I've seen them. They are
Oh,
so, so good.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. And it was
Always. They're
it
always good. I
yeah,
mean,
it was beautiful. So, and it was kind of cool because we had Diamondbacks players giving their testimony before the show.
oh man, that
Yeah,
even, yeah, that's
yeah,
so cool.
which made me really happy because, well, I'll talk about that because this isn't a baseball show. But
No, we're God, faith, football.
it was really cool. But then we went to a preseason game. Now, was it a little expensive? Did we kind of budget? Yeah, we kind of did. I mean, I bought stuff at the concession stands. We bought some gear at the Cardinals game. Case in point, the hat.
Yeah, yep,
I mean, even got something
I'm
for
sure.
Mandy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Oh, you should take a picture of Mandy, you and Mike, and all of you and your Cardinals. Put it in the back of your Zoom. That'd be
oh,
cute.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Put it
But
on our we can put it on our Facebook page. I was gonna upload a few training camp pics down the road too.
oh, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but seriously, guys, if it doesn't matter if you're a Dolphins fan, a Green Bay fan. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what fan you are. Go support your team. Do we always support everything that they do? When they go and get into the woke stuff? No, we don't. But you know what? We love the game. That's why we're here. That's why we're really excited for this season. We love the game. There are some changes. I mean, this dynamic kickoff thing is going to be interesting to see how teams
Yeah.
cope with
It
it.
I think that's what caused the Chiefs to lose their preseason game.
You think
I
so?
mean, I think
Interesting.
it was part of the reason why they lost because they just everybody was confused with that new rule.
I think even the officials are trying to get used to it.
Yeah, yeah. No, everyone struggled trying to figure that one out. And it's I mean that's why preseason games are good, right?
Yeah.
Because you can see where you need to tighten up
Yep.
as a coach and everything else. So Andy Reid did say, "Hey, we got to tighten up in these areas."
And I know him, and I know but well, because of you, Michelle, I've really started following the Chiefs. I have a Chiefs podcast that I listen to.
Oh yeah, I have utmost respect for the organization. I think that's part of it. And you know me, I'm crazy about Patrick Mahomes.
Well, there is that. Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy can sling a football.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's a great athlete, a great leader, and I have a lot of fun when I watch him play. It's really fun to see
And it's
him and
and it's going to be fun watching a healthy Kyler Murray.
oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch the Cardinals too. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of improvement with them.
Oh God, please, please, because I know I'm not the only fan that was sitting there, and I kept telling them better than 4 win. I'd run across people, we talk at the game, and I'm like, better than 4 wins, and they're like, yes. Like that's been the hope of people, and I sense a real sense of expectation this season. I really do. I sense a real sense of expectation, and I'm excited. I think, you know, we have a lot to look forward to for football this year.
Well, we need
Um,
a lot of distraction, especially with the election upon us.
uh, you have to mention that.
I'm sorry, but I mean, football is going to be It's going to be a nice diversion.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I'm really looking forward to seeing who stands out and who actually who's okay, let me ask you this question, Michelle. Who do you
Okay.
think is going to be, and this will be kind of the question we end on, who do you think is going to be your dark horse team to kind of keep an eye on?
Oh, oh, Teresa, you're asking, that's a tough question.
I know, because there's a lot of teams out there.
I, I hate to, I think it's going to be the Broncos.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's so many other teams too, like the
Mm,
Vikings.
yeah, there's we get, yep.
I don't know. I mean, overall, I haven't really had a chance to, kind of the um, perspective from those that have been in sports broadcasting and those that have been in the NFL
Hmm.
world for a long, long, long time. I haven't really honestly given it that much thought because I've been so focused on
Right.
the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
So,
got you. I got
but
you.
I mean, I will say the Bears, the 49ers aren't dark horse. That's
No,
the other
they're
thing. They're not a dark horse team. So, but I mean, there's a lot of team. I mean, I, of course, have certain players on teams that I'm drawn to.
yep.
And so because of the players, then I like the team, you
Right.
know.
I will say this. I'm kind of looking at one, I mean, as far as the team that's not a dark horse, I would agree with you. 49ers are kind of my ooh, that I got my eye on that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Because I think that they got close, and they're still hungry, and they're going to be a threat.
They are going to be a threat.
Of course, that means us out here in Cardinals land, we're like, great, we don't need them much more of a threat than they already are. Um,
No.
I'm gonna actually go out on a limb and say either Detroit or
Yeah,
the Tit or the
I think
Titans.
Detroit is one right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I think either Detroit or the Titans.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Detroit plays in the preseason game too.
Yeah,
Honest about Netflix. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Netflix,
so do I.
and they have some excellent documentaries. Peyton Manning is and Patrick Mahomes, they produce some of these receiver, you know, documentary
Mm-hmm.
uh documentaries for the NFL and quarterback. And so I've gotten to know some of the players through their documentary that they put out. Um, so, I kind of lean into those those players and their teams,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where I go. But I know there's so many more that we have probably not really looked at. And I can't wait to start those stories because that's where you really begin to get
Identify.
into,
Yeah.
yeah, you get into more of you know, the other teams and some of the players that aren't, really
Well,
being recognized,
right. And that's something I think I'm really looking forward to doing is recognizing those players. So, um, I think Michelle, let's wrap it up here. Um,
Okay.
I'm really excited for this coming season. I know you are.
Yep.
And guys, we have a lot of stuff to do going forward. We are going to be doing a show every other week. And if you guys want us to highlight a team, highlight a player, give our thoughts on that team, we would love to do so.
We
Just
do.
we
We
would
want to
love,
hear, we want
yeah,
to hear from, and, you know, we also want to know some of the fans and their favorite teams.
yes, yeah,
And, we, like you and I mean, we just talk casually
yep.
about the games and, what we like, what we don't. And, we've tried to steer away from the political pieces.
Boy,
you know.
is that fun doing that, by the way.
Oh man, yeah, this whole Harrison Butker. Uh,
Let's see this, because I know that he stirred up a hornet's nest.
he did.
And I'm just gonna say this: the man stood up for his faith,
He did.
and he's gotten filleted over it by the NFL at large, and by other people and people in the sports world. But you know what? He's called to live his faith on and off the field, and that's what matters in the end.
Yes, and so I guess we could close saying our player that's doing that for this episode is Harrison Butker,
Yes,
and he has had an extension to his contract and is the highest paid kicker in the NFL.
you know what? And it's well deserved because he's a heck of a kicker, and he's getting paid for what he does.
Yeah, it was a treat to see him out at training camp. I mean, in his stance and how he was practicing and, you know, the whole kicking. I have a couple of really good pictures of him. So he's a dad and, you know, he knows what he walks the talk.
That's it right there. So
Yeah.
yeah, Harrison Buckner is our player for this show. I really have high respect for him. With that, Michelle, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to future episodes and watching the preseason games and getting out there and hopefully going to a game or two this year.
I'd love to see you do that. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. I'd love it.
Yeah. So with that, I'm Teresa Blaze, along with Michelle Saunders Gottsch. This has been Blaes and Gottsch, and we're out.